Hello and welcome to this Oak Tree English video on the writing exam for ESOL Entry 3 with City and Guilds. The writing exam is in 3 parts. First, you're tested on your SPAG, then on filling in a form, and finally on free writing. In this video, we're going to look at each area and I will tell you how you are assessed. You have 2.5 hours to do this exam. First, we have the SPAG part of the exam. SPAG stands for Spelling, Punctuation and Grammar. These are tested in 4 or 5 activities. First, you will have the first clause of a sentence, often a conditional sentence. You will have to provide the second clause. For example, if you want to pass the exam, you will have to watch Oak Tree English videos. So you would be given, if you want to pass the exam, you would fill in, you will have to watch Oak Tree English videos. The best advice I can give here is to make it easy on yourself and do this. No, not kiss the invigilator, that won't help. But keep it simple, students. Don't overcomplicate it, because that's a good way to make mistakes. Mistakes will cost you in this part of the exam. The second and third exercises are putting words in the correct order to form statements and then questions. For example, best the Oak channel on English YouTube is tree, which of course doesn't make sense, but can be arranged as a statement as the best channel on YouTube is Oak Tree English, or indeed Oak Tree English is the best channel on YouTube. Or you can arrange it as a question, so be careful to check whether you're being asked for a question or a statement. Is Oak Tree English the best channel on YouTube? With, of course, a question mark. Exercise 4 is word transformation. This is often through the adding of affixes. These are the letters at the beginning of a word, a prefix, to change its meaning, like popular to unpopular, or letters at the end of a word, called a suffix, to change the word type, like concentrate is a verb, concentration is a noun. You can prepare yourself for this by thinking about word families like create, creation, creative, uncreative, uncreatively, recreate, recreation. Finally, there is a spelling exercise. You're given 3 sentences. Each one has a spelling mistake, one spelling mistake. You must find and correct it. For example, Britain is in the top 10 countries to live in. And obviously, countries there is spelt wrong. It should be spelled with an IES, which follows the rule about pluralizing. Now, pluralizing is one of those things that's better. Pluralizing is one of those things that gets tested because it's one of those things that people make mistakes on. So be careful with that. Also, homophones and letters, silent letters. Look, I've got a video on this. It's called Spelling Strategies, and I will link it for you. To pass this section of the exam, this part 1, you must have at least 1 mark in each of the exercises. Activity 2 is form filling. At entry 2, you simply wrote your name, address and postcode, include capital letters for names, places and postcode, spell it all correctly and make sure it's all readable. This was very simple. At entry 3, a little bit more is expected. Along with that, you also have to write 2 pieces of information, which they ask for. There's a maximum of 7 marks for this task. 1 mark is for giving your personal information, such as name, address, date of birth. Another mark for correctly using capital letters for proper nouns, such as names, streets, towns, and of course the postcode. Another 2 marks are given for spelling your personal information correctly. If you make a couple of mistakes, you can still get a mark for this. You get a mark for giving 2 pieces of information, a mark each for giving 2 pieces of information, such as your likes or reasons or something like that. Finally, what you write must be legible, that is, be able to be read, and fit for purpose, which means that it answers the question. This is usually the easiest part of the exam, but don't take it for granted. Activity 3 is a short piece of writing. You're given a task with 4 points to write about. For example, write about a place to visit in the UK. You would need to write about where the place is, what you like about it, what there is to do there, and how to find out more. Don't forget to write a plan, which should include all 4 points and an introduction and a conclusion. Remember, you will not be marked on the accuracy of the information, only the quality of your writing. So if you want to write that there is a roller coaster that goes over, under and through Stonehenge, it won't lose you any marks. You will be marked on content, so write about each point for a mark each. So 1 mark for where the place is, 1 mark for what you liked about it, etc. Make sure you write what is required. You may be asked for a blog or an article or a letter. Make sure that your layout is consistent with the type of writing you have been asked for. I have videos on individual types of writing. You should aim to write about a page or organised into short but clear paragraphs. I have a video on paragraphs too. Stop me if I'm getting boring. You'll also be marked on grammar. At this level, you are expected to produce simple, compound and complex sentences. That is, compound 2 sentences joined with and or but, and complex sentences are a sentence with a supporting thought and a supported thought. My paragraph video also has an explanation of the 3 sorts of sentences. Do take a moment to read it, watch it. The full requirement for grammar at entry 3 is on a different video, which I warmly recommend. You will also be tested on range. This is your range of vocabulary and expressions. You'll also be tested on spelling. It says in the mark scheme that common words should be spelt correctly. So don't panic if you don't know how to spell a technical word like onomatopoeia. Punctuation. This includes capitalization. And you'll be marked on formality. So think about the audience. A postcard to your mum will not have the same register as a letter to His Majesty the King, God bless him. The key to passing this element is in the planning. You have plenty of time to do this, so take the opportunity and don't be lazy. And that's it. 3 activities in 2.5 hours, testing SPAG, form filling and free writing. You've got this. Go and pass that exam, friends. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If so, please remember to like, share and subscribe, or even support me. by becoming a channel member for early access to new videos. Goodbye.